Hey guys, Mosa here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 9 Thursday Night Football predictions between the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, let's kick it off with the injury report of the New York Jets, starting with safety Tony Adams with a hamstring injury, safety Ashton Davis with a concussion, defensive tackle Leki Fotu with a knee injury, wide receiver Alan Lazard with a chest injury, linebacker C.J. Mosley with a neck injury, and offensive lineman Elijah Vera Tucker with an ankle injury, all out for this game. Then we move on to Chaz Surratt, linebacker with a heel injury, Morgan Moses, offensive lineman with a knee injury, and tight end Kenny Jeboa with an abdominal injury, all questionable for this game. Then moving on to corner Michael Carter II with a back injury, offensive lineman Jake Hansen with a thumb injury, defensive lineman Will McDonald IV with a shoulder injury, quarterback Aaron Rodgers with a knee and hamstring injury, linebacker Hassan Reddick with a neck injury, and defensive lineman Quinnen Williams with an ankle injury, and linebacker Jamian Sherwood with a shoulder injury. Now, when it comes to the New York Jets, I believe 100% the Jets have a chance to win this, but due to so many injuries on defense, that defense is going to let up so many points. Like, this is one of the better defenses of the NFL, and it kind of went down a little bit after Robert Saleh got fired. But they had a chance, but that chance is over depending on how the defense plays, because this defense is just turned down. And then you got the offensive line, Elijah Vera Tucker not playing, and offensive line Morgan Moses potentially not playing. Like, how are you going to protect Aaron Rodgers? Realistically, the Jets have almost little chance, although I did say that they have a chance. Like I said, any team has a chance. But, based off of the injuries, New York is going to have a bit of trouble against Houston. Now, moving on to the offense of the New York Jets, starting with quarterback Aaron Rodgers, running back Breece Hall, wide receivers Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, and Irvin Charles. Tight end will be Tyler Conklin, left tackle Tyron Smith, John Simpson will be the left guard, and then we got center Joe Tippmann, with the right guard being Jake Hansen coming in for an injured Elijah Vera Tucker, and then we get Morgan Moses on the right tackle position, and if he cannot go, Olu Fushanu will take over as the right tackle. Now, when it comes to the offense, the Jets, they got a good running back in Hall. They got a good receiver in Wilson Adams. They got a good tight end, or decent at the least, in Tyler Conklin. And they got Aaron Rodgers. Problem is, they got an injured offensive line. You got Morgan Moses injured. You got Elijah Vera Tucker gone for the game. And then you get players like Tyron Smith, which aren't the same type of guys they used to be. I mean, this team is just going to be terrible on offense if they don't manage to protect Aaron Rodgers, obviously. But if they do, maybe Aaron will get him the passes to Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and maybe some runs by Breece Hall. But in the end, I think that there's going to be a very big problem with the Jets in this game, especially going up against the almost unstoppable Houston Texans. And realistically, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to really have to worry about himself as the Jets quarterback, because he might just do Brett Favre. Now, moving on to the defense of the New York Jets, starting with defensive ends Will McDonald and Hassan Reddick, defensive tackles Javon Kinlaw and Quinnen Williams, weak side linebacker Jamian Sherwood with inside linebacker Chaz Surratt, but if Surratt cannot go, Sam Egwivion, I don't know how you say that, but he would be coming in as an inside linebacker, Quincy Williams as the strong side linebacker, corners Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, and then we got nickelback Michael Carter II, Isaiah Oliver will be starting at free safety, and Jalen Mills at strong safety. This defense has a lot of holes, and it's mostly due to the two safeties in the back, Isaiah Oliver and Jalen Mills coming in for the injured safeties, Tony Adams and Ashton Davis. Honestly, I'm not going to say that they're terrible, but I mean, this is going to be a tough game, especially if you're going to see some Tank Dell action and some also Xavier Hutchinson going back there deep downfield. And then you got Sauce Gardner's pretty good, so there's that. DJ Reed is okay. And then the linebacking core is kind of battered, so kind of a little bit hesitant there. Will McDonald, all right at the defensive end position. Hassan Reddick playing in this game. That's going to be a very good off the edge. And then defensive tackles Kinlaw and Williams. They're pretty good. And Williams is actually a lot better. But in the end, are they going to be able to stop that offensive line of the Houston Texans from protecting CJ Stroud and whoever's running the ball? I don't think so. I think maybe we'll see a few QB hits and only one sack on CJ Stroud in this game, while we see a over 100-yard game for, I think it was, I don't even know who the running back is right now. I can't really think of one. I think it was Joe Mixon or Dameon Pierce. Maybe Pierce is injured or something like that. One of the two. Whoever it is will get 100 yards rushing in this game, and there's no doubt in my mind that the Jets are going to have problems. Now, on to the injury report of the Houston Texans, starting out with safety Jimmy Ward with a groin injury, offensive lineman Jarrett Patterson with a concussion, running back Dameon Pierce with a groin injury, all out with this game, along with linebacker Izzy Alshari. I don't know how you say that. And then you get corner Kamir Lassiter. I think that's how you say it. He's has a little bit of a shoulder injury. Henry Ototo, I don't know how to say that. These are some weird names in the NFL. He's a linebacker. He suffered a concussion, but he most likely will play in this game, along with safety Kalen Bullock, who suffers a shoulder injury. Now, when it comes to the injury report, obviously losing Patterson is a big deal on the offensive line. Ward as a safety, big deal. Dameon Pierce, okay, maybe. And Alzaire as well, however you say his name. He's also a very big loss for the Houston Texans defense. So honestly, I'm going to say, just like the Jets, the defense is going to be the one most hampered with injury, at least of the players who are out. It's 50-50, but when it comes to the players who are injured but going to play in this game, I think it's going to be a little bit of a trouble, especially with a secondary being battered like Lassiter and Bullock. But regardless, are they going to have trouble against Aaron Rodgers? Probably not. Now, on to the offense of the Houston Texans, starting with quarterback CJ Stroud, running back Joe Mixon, wide receiver Tank Dell and Xavier Hutchinson, along with Robert Woods, tight end Dalton Schultz, left tackle Jeremy Tunzel, left guard Kenyon Green, Juice Scruggs will be the center, Shaq Mason as the right guard, and Titus Howard at right tackle. Now, when it comes to the offense of the Houston Texans, obviously the offensive line is pretty decent. Kenyon Green coming in for an injured Patterson, that's going to be a little bit iffy on the left side of the field. But honestly, Tunsil has been pretty good since coming to Houston. And Titus Howard, I trust him on the right side, along with Shaq Mason and Juice Scruggs. We're probably going to see, like I said, maybe two sacks on CJ Stroud. Other than that, Joe Mixon, probably a 100-yard game for him. And probably a 300 to 200-yard game for CJ Stroud. 2 touchdowns, maybe even 3. But in the end, this game is going to be pretty good for the offense of the Houston Texans. And I don't say that just because it's the Houston Texans and they're 6-2 going up against a 2-6 Jets team. But I'm also saying it because of the hampering of the Jets defense. Now, on to the defense of the Houston Texans. Starting out with defensive ends Will Anderson, the second-year defensive end, along with Daniel Hunter. Defensive tackles Khalil Davis and Folo, I don't know how you say that, Fatukasi. I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. And then you get weak side linebacker Devin White. Inside linebacker is Jake Henson, coming in for an injured Aljair, if I'm not mistaken. And then you get strong side linebacker Henry Tobu. I don't know how to say that. Hopefully you guys know who I'm talking about. And then you get Derek Stingley at corner with Kamari Lassiter, if I'm not mistaken. MJ Stewart will be the nickelback with Jalen Petrie, I think that's how you say it. He'll be coming in for an injured Jimmy Ward at free safety, and Kalen Bullock will be the strong safety for this team. Now, when it comes to the defense of the Houston Texans, obviously injured players and players who are out due to injury are really going to be a stain on the Houston Texans defense. But you got Will Anderson, you got Daniel Hunter, you got Khalil Davis on that defensive line, pressuring Aaron Rodgers. Probably going to get 3 or 4 sacks on Aaron Rodgers in this game. Probably going to stop the run several times, but still going to have a good game for Breece Hall. And then you get the second, the linebacking core specifically. Devin White and Henry, whatever his name is, because I'm not going to say that again. Those two are going to be crucial on each side of on the right and on the left side when it comes to the run game. And when it comes to the secondary, Derek Stingley is honestly the guy the Jets want to target the least, because this guy is honestly the best secondary player for the Houston Texans right now. So that's one guy you got to basically match up with one of your weakest. Obviously, they're going to probably switch him up to your best guy. So probably against Adams or Wilson, whichever one they choose. And then you get safeties. You got an injured one coming in. So you got a new one coming in for an injured one. So I'm thinking that they're going to try and get to Jalen Petrie and Kalen Bullock deep downfield in the center of the field. But I still think it's going to fail because the Houston Texans are not the same as the New York Jets. And honestly, we might get some picks from Aaron Rodgers in this game, and most likely due to Derek Stingley. Now, in conclusion, I have this game going 35-12. I think that the Jets are going to lose badly in this game. The Jets have no chance on winning this game, or at least very little chance of winning. So, unless this is a trap game where the Houston Texans suddenly lose, that's going to be a surprise for me. Otherwise, expect the Texans win. Probably 200 to 300 yards passing for CJ Stroud, over 100 yards for Joe Mixon, and potentially a very good defensive matchup for Devontae Adams versus Derek Stingley. Now, that was it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tweet me any video ideas. Also, tell me down in the comments below, who do you think will win and who do you think will lose? Tell me down in the comments below your predictions. Now, like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and hit the notification if you want more videos. And I'll see you guys next time.